keep only 10 for life. Sorry, I thought a dramatic sounding title needed a dramatic opening, but I won't ever do that again. Yeah, very dramatic sounding title, that is. Keep only 10 designer fragrances for life and toss out the rest. You might recognise that video title because it was a tag video that was going around a few years ago, 4 years ago. In fact, I did this very video, but a lot's changed on my fragrance journey in that time. So I thought I would do an update video because I've smelled a lot more fragrances, I've bought a lot more into my collection, so I just thought I would revisit this dramatic sounding video title and see how much my fragrances have changed in 4 years. So here is my updated list of 10 designer fragrances to keep for life and toss out the rest. The majority of this list actually has changed, which is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video. I think there are 3 that have carried over from the video from 4 years ago. The rest is all different, so let's get into it. I am kicking off the list with a fragrance that was not in the original list. And one of the reasons it wasn't is because back then I wasn't quite as into freshies. I was really drawn towards the darker, sweeter, richer, more complex smelling designer fragrances. I still am, but in that time I have bought freshies and I have really enjoyed some fresher fragrances, and I think it's good to have some freshies on a list of fragrances that you're only gonna have for the rest of your life, because obviously you want to be covered for all occasions. So the first one from Dolce & Gabbana is Light Blue Eau Intense. If you've seen any of my videos over the last few years, you'll know this is one of my go-to summer staple fragrances. And the best way I can describe this is to say it is like an ocean breeze in a bottle. As you'd expect from that description, it's fresh, it's clean, it's ozonic, it's got citruses and marine vibes. And what I love about this fragrance is its versatility. It is not just a summer fragrance, even though it is my preference to wear this one in the summer. I could quite easily wear this all year round. I will say that it's not really an evening wear fragrance for me. It doesn't have enough weight or complexity. I do prefer a fragrance with just a little bit more firepower for the evenings, but as a daytime casual summer wear, this is stunning. The scent at number 9 was not on my original list, and there's a very good reason for that, because it was merely a twinkle in Azzaro's eye. Wanted by Night was released the same year actually that I made the previous video, but later on in the year. I bought this on release, immediately fell in love with the cinnamon fruitiness, the tobacco in here. It's got an ambery depth, a little bit of spiciness. It's quite a rich, deep, heavy fragrance. I love all those things, but what I love the most about it is how unique it is. I don't think it's derivative of anything else, which is pretty hard to do in this day and age with all the thousands of fragrances that are now on the market. But it just stands out there on its own as Azzaro Wanted by Night. Love the performance on this. It's a strong, maybe even pushing the boundaries of beast mode fragrances, but you wear this on a night out, it is going to get smelled. It is probably going to get you some positive attention, but forget all that. Forget all the compliments and all the positive attention. What I love most about this fragrance is I love it when I wear it. Number 8, this one is new to this updated list, and I was a little bit late to the party with this, but I've now owned it for maybe 3 years or so. It's Acqua Profumo. This is a fresh, classy fragrance, but the incense in here has this mysterious quality and it gives it enough depth that I think makes it just about wearable in the colder months, but because of all the fresh, clean notes, it's absolutely brilliant in the summer, and I think it's good for everything in between. So very versatile, very refined, still my favorite of the Acqua line, even the most recent release of the EDP. I find this one is still a bit more interesting. Number 7, it's another versatile banger, and it's also a versatile banger that was in the original list. This one is from Chanel, so you know it's going to be a good one. It's Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. I'm still a big fan of this fragrance. You've got the Chanel class, but there's also a sweet, fun side. There's some mandarin in the top with some fresh mint, and then there's herbs, and then there's some sweet tonka beans. So it's just a fun, lively, classy, but energetic fragrance that you can wear absolutely whenever the heck you want. So it's going in the list because I want to keep it for life. It's that good. Number 6, it's another from the original list. You know I love tobacco, and this is one of the best tobacco designer fragrances that has ever existed, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go out there and say that. It's pure Havane from Mugler. This is lively and fun with lots of sweet tobacco. It's the kind of fragrance that is perfect for the autumn and winter, but also it's got that fun sweetness that would just work really well on a night out. I love wearing this on nights out. It just projects massively off me. Sadly, I think this fragrance is discontinued. I don't think you can buy it anymore, which is the definition of discontinued, just in case you didn't know. Because of that, I will have to use this fragrance very sparingly. Otherwise, I'll use it all up and I won't have enough left to keep it for life. If you love fragrance as much as I do, head over to my online store, luxparfum.co.uk. You'll find my favourite brands, plus brands you can't find anywhere else in the UK. Link is in the description. At number 5, this one is new to the updated list. I bought this a couple of years ago after I'd filmed the original video, and I actually bought this when I was starting on a trip, travelling around a few different locations in Europe, and I couldn't have picked a better travel companion than Bleu de Chanel. This is the EDP version. I remember buying this at the airport and smelling the EDT and the parfum, and I enjoyed them all. I don't think you're gonna go wrong buying any of the 3 fragrances. You could say maybe the parfum is a little deeper and perhaps would work slightly better in the evenings. It's maybe a little more sensual, a little stronger. But I thought the EDP was just in the middle, and it was the best of both worlds. It had the freshness of the EDT, it had the depth of the parfum. I do also own the parfum, but if I could only keep one Bleu de Chanel, I'd go with the EDP. This is fresh, clean citruses, but the best thing about this fragrance is it combines all those fresher notes with some incense. And I always say incense has a bit of a mysterious vibe, which I really love. This is clean, classy, quality stuff from Chanel. It's already pretty iconic, but I think in years to come, this is going to be thought of as a timeless classic. Number 4, this one was in the original list, and I bought this fragrance mainly because I was watching a lot of Jeremy Fragrance's channel at the time. But this wasn't necessarily Jeremy's recommendation. This was more the recommendation of certain people who were appearing on Jeremy's channel and certain people that I was, let's just say, inclined to listen to their opinion. I think you know what I'm talking about. It's Spicebomb Extreme. So obviously this is spicy, but there's tobacco. And one of the best things about it is a vanilla, and it's this rich, creamy vanilla, which just seems to thicken up the fragrance, making it ideal to wear in colder weather. In that colder weather, it is fairly versatile because this would work just as well for cozy nights by the fire as it would for crazy nights in the clubs. It's a sexy, addictive smell that is probably gonna get you some positive attention. So if you love positive attention, definitely consider Spicebomb Extreme. If you don't love positive attention, then maybe avoid it. I'm a big fan of Tom Ford fragrances, and we do have a Tom Ford here at number 3. One of my favorites is Tuscan Leather. Absolutely love it. It is a little divisive. My wife isn't that keen on it, and I could only wear that fragrance on certain occasions. I couldn't wear it all of the time, which is why I'm not putting that in a list of fragrances that I would want to keep for life. But if I want a fragrance that gives me that fruity leather combo in a more mass appealing, more wearable package, then I would be going for Ombre Leather. Whew, this is a good fragrance. Very potent, but very likable. It always gets lots of positive attention, but the reason I like this fragrance is because it has a weight to it. It has a potency and a complexity that I find tremendously satisfying to wear. My friend Ben bought this on my recommendation. He absolutely loves it, and whenever I smell this on him, it always makes me think, I wish I'd chosen to wear Ombre Leather rather than the fragrance I'd chosen to wear. So all in all, great package. Wearability, versatility, positive attention, satisfying to wear. If all that sounds good to you, try Ombre Leather if you haven't already. And number 2 is one of the greatest fragrances ever made. It's Dior Homme Intense. This is woody, powdery, lipsticky iris with a sweet, deep, rich amberiness. In terms of quality, this is right there at the top in the designer realm. It's a sexy, sensual, ridiculously classy fragrance. Dior Homme Parfum, which is also an iris-based fragrance, is very good, and that was in the earlier Keep Only 10 Fragrances for Life list. I've since bought Dior Homme Intense, and after having worn it for a few years, if you were to push me, I would say Dior Homme Intense is a little bit more versatile. So at the end of the day, I probably like Dior Homme Parfum and Dior Homme Intense equally, but because I had Dior Homme Parfum in the last list, I thought I'd put Dior Homme Intense in this list, and because this is just a little bit more versatile, probably a better choice to have in a list of fragrances that I can only keep for life and toss out the rest. So for this video, Dior Homme Parfum is tossed. So I'm really enjoying Iris right now, which is why there is another Iris-based fragrance at the #1 spot. But the fragrance that I'm going to mention first is from Dior, and the reason that this isn't officially at the #1 spot is because it's discontinued, and I would have felt bad putting discontinued fragrance at the #1 spot. So the fragrance from Dior is Dior Homme for Men. This is a creamy, powdery, lipsticky iris fragrance that just seems to work insanely well off my skin. I wear this, it projects well, it's fresh, but it's got a depth to it. I just find it so satisfying to wear and incredibly versatile. The fragrance that actually is really at #1, which is very, very similar, I've discovered in recent weeks. Very similar to Dior Homme for Men is Prada L'Homme. Not a new fragrance. This fragrance has been knocking around for years. It always crops up in lists of, oh yes, safe scents, good office scents. The reason it makes it onto those lists is because it is one of the most versatile fragrances that I think I have in my collection. Like Dior Homme, it's got the depth, it's got the creaminess, it's got the lipsticky iris, so it just ticks all those boxes. And the more I'm wearing this, the more I'm getting addicted to it. To the point where I'm reaching for this fragrance when I should be wearing new fragrances, testing other fragrances, but I just keep going for this because I enjoy it so much. It just, I don't know, it does something to my brain that makes me want to keep wearing it. I guess that's where the addictive quality comes in, because it's so good. Over the years, I've smelled many complex, amazingly produced fragrances, but I love this because it's just so uncomplicated and easygoing. I think that's part of the appeal for me. You also get incredible bang for your buck because it's not too expensive and it's very versatile. You can just literally wear this whenever you want to wear it. No restrictions. Anytime of the year, any occasion, I could wear Prada L'Homme. A couple of years ago, I would not have seen myself putting this at the top of a list of 10 fragrances to keep for life, but it's at #1 because if I could only choose one fragrance to keep for life, when you take everything into account, versatility, when you can wear it, how much it would cost, a fragrance that you could literally be happy wearing every single day and never get bored of it, I think I would legit choose Prada L'Homme right now. So there we go. Those are my choices. The updated list of 10 fragrances to keep for life and toss out the rest. There's probably some amazing fragrances that I've forgotten about that should be in this list. But right here, right now, as of the day I'm filming this video, these are my choices. What do you think? Good choices? Any bad ones in here? What would be your list of top 10 fragrances to keep for life? It's pretty tough because there are lots of fragrances that I love that maybe I don't love quite as much as these, but it just feels wrong to never wear them again. Anyway, let me know what your choices are. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you do all that, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.